Alright folks, Post here, welcome back to another Pawn Master video, and today we're going to go over Lusamine and Pheromosa, who is actually dropping tonight, which by the way, I will be streaming when the banner drops, so check that out. And good luck to everyone who, good luck. Cannot say good luck for some reason, for anyone who's summoning on the banner, right? So, as usual, let's go over the unit and the banner and talk about it, right? So, oh, by the way, I am using Cerebi for the stats right now. Just a fair warning, I guess. Game Press's stats are super whack right now, which is why I'm not using GP. They're, even though I kind of like the layout a bit better slightly, but yeah, their numbers are not good right now because if you check the attack. That's 516 attack, which should be Pheromosa's level 140 stats, but for some reason they're using like 140 stats for every sync pair's 125 stats, which is obviously way off, right? But yeah. Anyways, well, let's get back to this. Lusamine Pheromosa, right? I think sync grid helper should also be fine, right? The stats. Oh, I don't know why they still have only level 120 stats. Huh. Okay. Hopefully they'll update it with level 125 stats. But yeah. Anyways, let's get back to Lusamine Pheromosa. So Lusamine Pheromosa, I like this unit a lot actually. Not only because I like Lusamine a lot, and Pheromosa as well. But you know, it's a very very good striker. And I think it's simultaneously I can't speak today. Oh my god. Both underrated and overrated in different aspects. I do think its defenses are incredibly underrated, and I think its offenses are slightly overrated as well. So let's go over this stuff. So they are coming on a Spotlight Scout banner, so take that as you will. There is an extra gift for summoning on the banner, which is you get one striker move candy token, right? For the first multi and first multi only. So there's also that to keep in mind as well. Although if you're asking me if it's like worth it just to summon it for the move candy token, I'd say probably not, because like it's like 1 out of 20, because you need 20 move candy tokens to get one move candy, and it's like you need 20 of those, you're getting one, it's like 3,000 gems, and if you don't want this unit, then you're spending 3,000 gems for like 1/20th of a move candy token, which you could spend on, you could have spent that 3,000 gems on a unit that you want, you actually wanted instead. I'm not saying Lusamine, Pheromosa is bad or whatever. It's really good, but just for an example, right? If you're just summoning up for the move, I don't think it's really that worth it. It's nice to have, right? But it's one of those, if you pick it up, it's nice to have, but if you don't pick it up, it's not a big deal either, right? So, anyways, before we get more, deep into the banners and stuff, let's talk about the unit first, right? Because we have to know what the unit does. So, starting off, it's a bug type. Although you should probably use it mainly as an ice type striker, and we'll get to that in a bit. It's weak to fire, of all things, which makes sense, right? Bug type, weak to fire, nothing too special there. As for some other aspects, you do have the passives. You know what? Let's go through the stats first before we look at the passives, so the passives will make more sense in context. So you have the absolute wildest stats in like almost any sync pair in the game. You have 513 HP, 474 attack, 66 defense, 474 special attack, 66 special defense, and 458 speed. So this is incredibly whack. Like if you check the rankings, she literally has the highest attack, naturally, right? Highest attack, highest special attack, and should have like the lowest, not counting 1-star Eggmons, which once they turn into 5 stars is much higher, right? And like the lowest defenses, and like the third highest speed in the game or something like that as well, right? Third highest speed. Like her stats are just completely just polarizing, right? Incredible offensive stats and really bad defensive stats with okay HP, I guess. I mean, it's a striker's HP. It's nothing, obviously, it's not great, but on the other hand, you're not a tank, and with incredible speed as well. So going over its passives, so and here's where I don't think the defenses are as bad as people think, nor the well, the offenses we'll get into later. That's a bit more nuanced, but I mean they're all pretty nuanced. But for one, if you check out the passes as endurance, as move gauge refresh 4, and positive reinforcement 3, which is basically beast boost, drastically raises user's attack and special attack when it knocks out opponent with a move. Right, so you could easily get +6 in both attack and special attack. Right, that's super easy to get. And then on top of that, you also have endurance. So what that means is that you basically don't need to bring in offensive support. You also have self-crit buffs as well. So you basically don't need to bring in offensive support, which means instead of that slot, which a lot of other strikers need, right, on your team, in that slot you need support to boost your attack or special attack or whatever, right? For Lusamine, you don't need that at all. You could just put in a defensive support and boost your defenses, right? And once you boost her defenses, her defense will be a lot better than even a lot of other run-of-the-mill strikers. So that's one point. The other point is endurance, right? Endurance, first of all, a lot of people have been saying, oh, she gets one shot by an AoE. Well, that's not possible. She literally cannot get one shot because she has endurance, right? Even like the strongest AoE moves, which she generally, even without any defensive buffs, like for example, the full force battle part 2, with the Aerodactyl rock slide, that super effective one shots, crit one shots like a Typhlosion or whatever, right? Or Charizard. For Lusamine Pheromosa, crit, it's a 2-shot. If it's not a crit, it's a 3-shot, right? She could tank 3 of those in comparison to a lot of other units who really can't take too much, because again, she does have that extra endurance, and with that extra endurance, her trainer move also heals in a pinch, right? Which again, really easy to get into that pinch. So once you get down there, you could also heal up as well, right? So I really do think her defenses are and I'm not saying her defenses are good. Her defenses are terrible, but her ability, her defenses are very different from her ability to take hits, and I think that's where the disparity is, right? And for those wondering, oh, she gets one shot by a sink. Well, not really, because again, if you give her defenses, either it's +4 or +6, right? At +4, it's like it's around like 110, and like at +6, it's like around 120, right? Which is again very, at +4, it's standard striker defenses, and at +6, that's actually one of the better defenses for strikers. So there's that, and also she is, since her defenses are so low, she gets the best percentage boost that you gain from using potential tickets, because potential tickets are straight stats, right? They're not a percentage boost of your stats. It's just straight up stats that you get. And again, she does have a 6-star EX, so that's something else to consider. The stats that she gains from her from making her a 6-star EX, or just 20 out of 20, I guess, if you don't want to spend the champion spears, are much more valuable than any other run-the-mill striker with, or not even, whatever, with decent defenses would get in terms of the gains, right? Because again, it's not a multiplier, it's straight up stats. So you're getting like 40 or something, like you're straight up like over 100 in your defenses. And then after that, like if you then give her defensive buffs, she's turns from one of the frailest strikers to one of the tankiest strikers in the game, which is kind of ironic. But anyways, again, that's a whole different discussion. I just want to talk about why I don't think she's as frail as people think, despite the very, very bad defenses. Because stats don't tell the whole story. Same thing with her offenses. I do think her offenses are overrated, as people are claiming. Oh, she's like the biggest glass cannon. She will kill everything before it sinks, so it doesn't matter if you get hit by something. Oh, that's not really true, because even though she definitely, I mean, there's no denying she has the highest, offensive stats, right? Naturally, but she doesn't have too many great multipliers, and we'll get to that in a bit once we talk about the sync grid. But anyways, let's just talk about her moveset first, right? So she has Bug Buzz, which is 99 base power, 100 accuracy, 3 gauges, single target, bug special, very small chance of lowering the target's special defense, 10% over there. It's basically, bug version of Psychic. We know Bug Buzz. Like, we have like 3 major bug strikers that have Bug Buzz now. Lunge is new, lowers the target's attack, physical, only 80 power. You're sacrificing like basically 18 base power over here for a guaranteed decrease on the opponent's attack. Also, another defensive mechanism, right? Lower the opponent's attack. And most of like the more threatening AoE moves, not all of them. There's a lot of great special ones, right? Stuff like, Swift, right? But a lot of them are physical. Bulldoze, Earthquake, Rock Slide, right? 100% accuracy, 3 gauges, single target. Blizzard over here, right? Blizzard is, and this is why I do call her sort of a special striker, because Blizzard that's I think that's 5 out of 5 Blizzard power, right? By the way, I think that's 5 out of 5 Blizzard power. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it is. You know what? Let me double check real quick. Let's see. Yeah, that's 5 out of 5 Blizzard power. I think 1 out of 5 is only 120 something. Yeah, it's only 126. But anyways, I'll probably let let Joe Merrick know in a bit. So 7% accuracy, but never misses in hail, and AOE 10% chance to freeze, AOE freeze. And then the trainer move called There raises users' evasion and crit, restores a bit of the user's HP, and charges the user's move gauge by 2 in a pinch. So obviously, again, that's great. You get crit, all that stuff, and you already get +6, attack, official attack from your passive anyway, so you don't have to worry about that. And then you get crit from here, and you also get evasion, which also adds to your chance, your survivability as a unit, again, despite the very low defenses, right? So, a sync move is nothing special. 250 max power, physical bug. Yeah, nothing much to talk about there, right? So, and you honestly won't be really using this sync move that much if you're running her as a ice type striker. If you're running her as ice type striker, you should probably be running her with Ice Steven, right, to get the hail in, which again means you won't be using your sync move that much. But if you are really using her as a bug type striker, obviously you will be using that, especially if it's a 6-star EX, right, to get that AoE off of the very, very high attack stats. So here's the thing, right, about Lusamine and Pheromosa. It does seem like she does a lot of damage just from the raw numbers, but if you look over at her sync grid, she really doesn't have that many multipliers. She does have some multipliers, right? She has some, Power Flux 3 is fantastic, always really good to have. And she also has super duper effective 1. There's also Power Reserve 5, but I'm not a huge fan, right? But anyways, one thing that I also do want to point out, she has incredible move gauge. So like it's really, and that's why I bring up the Ice Steven example. It's super, super easy to run her in a double striker team comp. Like you could just like spam like 3 gauge moves, like double 3 gauge moves, and you should be, like, there's no problem, right? Because you have, again, and unlike Sharpedo, you don't even have to mega, like insanely high speed, right? And then you also have move gauge refresh 4 on every single move, and on top of that, you got an extra move gauge refresh on all of your moves as well, right? For some reason, Blizzard move gauge refresh. Actually, do you have? Yeah. Lunge move gauge refresh as well. She has incredible. Like you do not have to worry about her move gauge at all. It's insane how good it is, right? But anyways, getting back to the grid, you do have Power Flux 3, which again is very, very good, and especially good on Lusamine because, like I mentioned before, the very great move gauge management. You will always be at a very, very high amount of move gauge, so you will always get the higher rolls for Power Flux 3, right? Because that's based on, again, how much move gauge you have left. The more move gauge you have left, the more damage it deals, right? So that's why Power Flux 3 is really good on Lusamine in particular. And also you get an extra 10% on Blizzard, super duper effective, right? And then as for some other stuff, Power Reserve 5. Like, here's the thing about Power Reserve for 5. Like, generally, it's not that great because it's not very reliable. Like, sure, you get, like, maybe 1 or 2 hits off with a Power Reserve 5, but, or whatever Power Reserve, but, usually you're either, about to get taken out or whatever, right? You could probably get, like, 1 hit in or not much, right? On the other hand, Lusamine, I guess she could sort of take advantage of that just because she has endurance and it's relatively easy to put her into the Power Reserve range, so you get that extra 50% relatively easily. And Okay, like, so if you are running this like with unyielding 2, it is very risky, and again, I just generally don't think it's really worth it. But if you do run this, this is just one. It turns from it's never like a mediocre, but like it's a good damage dealer. It's definitely like top, there, right? But if you run like Power Reserve 5, then okay, she's gonna be one of the hardest hitting units in the game. But without that, right? If you're just running with Power Flux 3 and Super Duper Effective 1, she's not, she's still she still hits very hard. She's not just nowhere near, anything like a Garchomp or whatever, right? That level. So, anyways, yeah, moving on. Quick Cure, I think it's kind of pointless. I mean, you're not going to tank with her anyways. Build up is also kind of pointless unless, I don't know, like not even like in co-op, because you have self crit buffs. What are you doing? Speedy entry. Talk about overkill on move gauge, right? Rejuvenate 6, absolute overkill on move gauge. I don't even know why. Hostile environment on Blizzard is great. On a roll on Bug Buzz. On a roll 2 as well for only 8 energy. That's really nice as well. On the run 3's nice, I guess. It's RNG, but that's what it is. And then their MP refresh, which is pretty standard. So let's talk about her sync grid, right? And the banner in general, now that we know everything about it. So here's one thing about the banner. If you are going to summon on her, like 1 out of 5 really is enough. Like, you get some good stuff at 2 out of 5. You get hostile environment, right, at 2 out of 5, and on a roll on 2 out of 5, which is good, but I don't think it's like super necessary. It's just something that it's nice that you have it. If you don't, again, not a huge deal. 3 out of 5 is where you get a lot of like the power, the multiple extra multipliers, like Power Flux 3 and SD 1 on Blizzard. Power Reserve 5 if you really want to run it with Unyielding 2. But like I mentioned before, I don't think it's that big of a deal. Like, you already good, like you do decent damage enough with at 1 out of 5. Again, this gives you a bit more. It's just not that much. It's at least it's a one or 1.19 multiplier or something like that, right? Which again, very very unlikely you will get the short end of that stick. You'll probably get more generally, right? But I don't think it's a big deal. If you really want to summon on Lusamine's banner, you could go for like 1 copy, and that should be enough. And plus, you also get that extra, move candy token that you want. But overall, here's what I think about Lusamine. I do think she's definitely better than Berg. In terms of Guzma obviously does much less damage than Lusamine. Lusamine does more damage than Guzma. That's a given, right? Also, I did the math. But Guzma, on the other hand, tanking physical hits stays alive longer, much more than Lusamine. Not the best special tanking unit, but still not bad there either, because you also have first aid. But again, Lusamine also has like 80% heals on there as well. But Guzma's still not bad, right? And I'm not saying just because if she is even better than Berg. And again, I think she is. If you don't think she is, then okay, whatever. Like, you can still use those. Like, Berg's not bad. Berg's still really good. Shiny Scyther is still really good, right? I just don't think if you need a bug type striker, you should necessarily go with that. However, on the other hand, if you really, 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 really need an ice type striker, she's great for this, right? She's great for this. Running her with Ice Steven is an absolutely devastating combo, right? The amount of DPS like per turn that you get from that team is insanely powerful, right? So that is something to consider. But again, it is a Spotlight Scout banner. You don't get the extra 3% on the Pokefair rates, and plus those 3, the Kanto Trio Pokefair are still up right now, right? Sing Sue and Venusaur, in my opinion, is an absolute must, right? You probably would want to get her first out of anything else. And do also keep in mind Lily and Gladian's banners are coming out as well. Again, I think she's a really, really great unit, but I don't really think that necessarily translates to, oh, you should definitely summon on her. Unlike Serena, and it's not like, just never summon on Spotlight Scout banners, because that's insane, right? For example, Sabrina or Serena, those were, banners. Well, at the time, Sabrina wasn't, because, we haven't gotten, as deep into like Villa and stuff yet, right? In terms of understanding a lot of stuff, we're still co-op at the time. Uh, but you know, Serena is a really great example. She is still probably, if used well, the best. Yeah, she's just she just breaks the game. I mean, you just completely just sweep everything with Serena. It's not even funny. So yeah, I don't think she's that level. She's very, very good. I just don't think she's that level of insanity, right? That you just have to summon on this banner. Again, if she's your favorite unit, you love Pheromosa, you love Lusamine, go for it, right? Obviously. Again, I do think, free to play units in this game is good enough for you to beat anything, right? So far, it has been proven that every single stage is beatable with free to play units. It's just basically who you really want, right? If you like this character, go for it. Don't, whatever, right? It's not like it's Pokefair where you get the extra bit of rates for other 5 stars, or select scout banners, right? That give you a guaranteed unit. Again, it's all RNG. So, anyways, that's really this one. I hope you guys enjoy. Let me guys think in the comments down below. Again, I will be summoning for her as soon as the banner drops, so check that out. When that happens, it's at reset, right, as usual. So yeah, again, hope you guys enjoy. Let me know guys think in the comments down below. Like and enjoyed this video, subscribe to my channel for some more Problem Masters content. And yeah, good luck on your summons for everyone summoning. I'll see you guys in the next one.